Oh, what he's supposed to like really look like. Oh, fuck.
I mean, when's the last time anybody really cared about Sonic the Hedgehog, if we're really being honest?
No, I was like, yo, we need a Sonic movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the movie?
Yeah. The movie was like something from like 89.
Wait, this?
Yeah.
This thing?
Yep.
Doesn't that look like him?
Yeah, like, I don't... Like,
I'm not sure what Sonic the Hedgehog is really supposed to look like.
Like, on some real shit, I don't know what people expect him to look like.
Anyway, we're live right now, by the way.
Oh, okay.
What up, y'all? Welcome to Rap Sucks Radio. We, a little pregame for y'all. We just try to get y'all involved in the process in this joint. The process. My name is Trek Life, and you in the building with me and my homeboy Kev Sakota.
What's happening?
And you know what? I'm just gonna get into it.
Okay.
All right. So I actually heard this opening question, by the way, party people.
Mm-hmm.
I actually heard this question as like a trivia question.
Hey,
so.
I'm ready.
All right. What goes up and down but stays in the same place? You want Jeopardy music?
Yeah.
I don't.
Can we afford that?
Copyright infringement immediately.
Oh, but it has obviously something to do with making fun of me.
Nope.
Oh,
doesn't have to.
That's refreshing.
Although for some reason you did kind of like.
Oh no.
Discuss it randomly when we walked in the door.
Oh,
this is actually taking a long time to answer.
Walmart.
All right. So the answer is either stairs or mountains.
Fuck mountains.
That was the thing from her. Whatever, dude.
What up, though? This is What Up, though, and you are listening to Rap Sucks Radio. Because rap sucks. Especially Trek Life's rap. It's whack, son. It sucks. Rap sucks.
What up, y'all? We over here doing like fresh edits. This is a crazy show. You are now rocking now, not loud. You are now rocking with Rap Sucks Radio. This is your homeboy Trek Life. So, we start the show off the right way, y'all. Thank you guys for listening, man. We've got some pretty good listeners, man. You guys kind of stick with us.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy.
There's a lot of energy.
A lot of old head energy.
A lot of old head energy. The old head energy drink, actually, by the way, that was crack. That was dope.
Oh, yeah.
that was fresh.
Absolutely.
So, who's out here tripping?
Yes. A lot of people this week.
A lot of people this week.
Who'd you pick?
I actually picked, I think I picked a collective, so it's even more of a lot of people. California Transportation. Caltrans.
Out here.
Super tripping.
Tell me why.
They over here painting over murals. Now, anybody who's lived in Los Angeles or visited Los Angeles, you can see that the murals that were commissioned for the 1984 Olympics. They commissioned 35 murals back then, 1984. Some of those murals are still up. Some of the murals have been taken down because there's just so much graffiti over them that they basically couldn't afford to maintain them. But there was one mural under the 110 interchange that had been there. Mm-hmm. It had lasted. It had some graffiti, but it had lasted. And for no reason at all, they just whited out the wall on that joint, dude. For no reason.
Spit.
Just straight pointless. You know what I'm saying? So I personally I do have one issue though, aside from Caltrans. I think I've mentioned this a couple times, and this might kind of, take away my hip hop status or whatever, but
wow.
Yeah. I don't like when people graph on murals.
Yeah, I mean,
I know what it is. I get it.
Well, it's usually weak. You see a lot of weak stuff going on the murals. And then, the whole thing with Caltrans was also, if I'm not mistaken, they like you said, they're acting like they didn't do it.
Right.
When it sounds like they made a mistake. Or they thought it was part of a bigger job they were doing. And then I think I heard the artist talking about, I know it was them because they didn't get up to the top of the mural. Right. Because I think what it was is they said they were trying to go over graffiti.
Right. So then they ended up going over the half of the mural to cover up some of the graffiti.
Right.
Which is, it's kind of whack, man, because the 110 freeway used to be so fresh to me when I was little because you had the kids playing with playing on the side of the freeway on headed south. Mm-hmm. And then you had headed north, you had on the other side, like it looked like an exploded like Coliseum or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, to me, it was always fresh. And you had the two directors, the female director on one side and the male director on the other. Like I always thought that was fresh, but then I passed it as I got older, dude, and I was just like, God, dog, y'all just gonna tag all over this joint. My man Data One, this has come a rare moment where I have to accept an agreement with Data One.
Wow.
Yeah, this won't hardly ever happen again. But he says, and I think I have to agree with him that like you can't like graph like dope graph and dislike tagging, because tagging is basically like the build up. You know what I'm saying? It's the practice form of dope graffiti artists. But it's like, God, dude, I kind of just wish there was some rules. Like, folks be writing on trees, and it's like, God, dog.
People going over Nipsey in Connecticut.
Oh, that's. Can we do a double out here tripping?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Let's out here
coast to coast out here tripping special edition.
Coast to coast out here. What was up? Was her name KK?
Something like that.
Oh, you talking
Yeah.
about out? She almost lost her life though.
Yeah, and she's also casting aspersions on Data One's credibility.
That
'cause
is true.
Her weak bubble, whatever the hell
What
was
was
going
she
on with
doing?
that. Yeah, she
And
was doing
I-
some super 1970, 69 bubble letter
You
nonsense.
should not graph worse than me. That is one thing you should never do. Like my joint look like stick figures wilding out. It's just like, is that a T or an O? I don't even know what you try to do, Track. Like when I have to sign CDs, people are like, yo, Track, sign my CD. I'll be like, oh, this could be whack. You are gonna hate this. There's almost nothing you about to hate more than this signature on this CD, but whatever. I'm trying to put the date on the joint, and the two be looking like a 17 all by itself. It's bad, yo. It is bad. And she worse than me. She's worse than me. But she almost lost her life, though.
She took her life in her hands, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, what would... I don't think we could ever answer the question of what was she thinking, but God, dog, girl,
No.
what were you thinking?
I don't want to get into the mindset of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably a bad idea.
Yeah. It's a dark place.
It's a dark place. Speaking of bad ideas, 40 songs have been recorded between LL Cool J and Dr. Dre.
Or thereabouts.
Yeah, why do... Okay, does anyone want a Dr. Dre and LL Cool J album? Like, ever? Shug, you want one? No, you don't want one. Wait, was there somebody out there right now listening that said they might want one? You don't want one either. Just in case.
Well, give me the argument against it.
Does there need to be like a lengthy argument against
There
it?
are so many albums that are actually out right now that there's no strong argument for them.
Okay, but
That's my position.
okay. So what do we get? Like Explosive and Hey Lover remix combined together type music, or what exactly are we? What are we aiming for now? Both of these artists, if Dre is still, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a unit, a production crew that Dre brings along,
Right.
That can produce a pretty solid sound.
Sure.
So either you do 12 songs of Heads Rung, or we don't listen. Like what's going to be the point? I don't want to hear LL Cool J, and I like LL Cool J, by the way. I actually like LL Cool J. A lot of people have issues with LL for the Rock the Bells thing that we'll get into, but I like LL. I just can't imagine listening to a whole record of LL Cool J over Dr. Dre beats. I'd be like, damn, I just want to hear somebody else over these beats.
This is the thing to me. No, there's nothing to lose. It's already recorded. I'm probably not going to listen to it anyway. If I happen to listen to it and I like it, fantastic. If not, I haven't lost out on anything. If anything, I'll wait for the instrumental album to come out, check out the Dre beats, whatever the case may be. LL does not care.
He shouldn't.
And every so often he can still spit. So, by the way, yeah.
What's up, Shug?
I got a question.
All right.
Okay, they did a song together though in 90.
Okay, see, you've already messed up. 98.
98.
It is
So
2019 right now.
So I'm wondering,
Uh-huh.
are these songs from that time when they worked together? Because think about it, you ain't heard nothing else from
Well,
them since then.
I mean, it's just 40 songs. Like these, they can actually get into stuff. I'm sure that these catalogs at this point are like, and Kev, you probably would know more about this than anybody in this room. Like, people will get in studio, start a project. The labels will get excited about the project, and then it'll either not really come to full fruition, or something else will come up, like LL will get a movie deal and that project will go on. I'd imagine that's probably a lot of that. It's probably a lot of that, right? Like 40 songs just seems like start, stop, you know.
Sure. And I mean, you know, and then I think, was it that same article? Reading that article, I got so distracted by so many different things. One of which was Dre talking, I think it was in that article where he was talking about how he sometimes it's like exercise for him, where he goes to the studio every day, and sometimes he's like on that Prince mentality of I'm just going to make something.
Yeah.
This is my release musically for the day, and I really don't care if anyone ever hears it.
Right.
You know, because it's easy to say that when you have records that
you
do want people to hear that are making millions.
I would love to do that, Dre. Thank you for saying that you do that. I can't.
But so maybe it was in that mode, and maybe they did record half of them during the time of those 98 sessions or whatever it was.
I'm not curious at all, and I'm only curious enough to have to talk about it on the show because I wanted to come up with a mildly interesting topic. And now this topic just seems like just the idea of 40. So I'm exhausted at the thought of it. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Can I say this though?
Sure.
I didn't say the song was great. I just said they did a song.
Well, like I said, what would it possibly be?
It was off the Bulworth soundtrack, which was
wow.
Bulworth soundtrack. We
Halle Berry.
It's gone so left field already.
I'm so ton of you.
So odd information. But on remaining on the subject of LL, I kind of got to go with him on this trademark infringement lawsuit that he just won against Guerrilla Union. You know?
Yeah, it seemed like that. It's weird because if you're not really close to it, which I'm not close to it, even though I'm probably closer than most people to it,
right? It
seems like it's just gone on forever, but it hasn't.
It hasn't.
They dealt with it, and then I think it came up again, right? And it was almost like they were trying to push it even further, way too far.
Guerrilla Union should have chilled. You know what I'm saying? Like initially they tried to trademark it, and it was blocked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then they tried to kind of go around the different classes of trademarking it to try to get around and circumvent. And so he just was like, fine, here's a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of hip hop folks, you know what, I'm going to do this way. A lot of you hippity hop folks, because there's hip hop folks and then there's hippity hop folks. And a lot of you really hippity hop folks is like, oh man, LL, he shouldn't have done that and that's whack. And I'm like, okay, but look, that's my intellectual property. So at some point, you know, you could have dealt with the brother straight up. Like, you could have dealt with him. You could have said, look, man, you know, obviously this idea, the name comes from hearing your record when I was young or at whatever point. Maybe, and to be fair to Guerrilla Union, maybe LL was asking for a ridiculous price.
Well, was there an attempt made to have some sort of a deal that would have been sensible to both?
Guerrilla Union hasn't told their side, so we don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind hearing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing that they maybe they try. But at the end of the day,
this is also the thing. It's not like LL was an old rapper who faded into obscurity. He stopped rapping,
right?
But he was not had not faded into obscurity,
right?
He's probably still one of the most well known and well recognized hip hop personas of all time, because of the TV show, right, and the acting, and what was the shark movie? Fantastic movie. That's a side note, though. So if he doesn't need, it's not like they went and picked the name of a Kool Moe Dee song. No disrespect to Kool Moe Dee.
What up, Kool Moe?
To name the festival after. They picked a name that made sense. It's a dope name, and obviously you're gonna have to come to the table.
You are
respectfully.
You are, and look, dude.
Which they might have. Who knows?
They might have, and the intellectual property argument is one that I think hip hop has a big issue with to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we talked about De La a couple weeks ago, and we didn't get too deep into that aspect of it, but that's a big part of what affected the early part of their career, and the early part of pretty much every rap artist career. Yeah, because it's we're a sample friendly culture, with a largely sampling culture, and in the end, now we're starting to cross that age path, and now we're like, hey, this is our thing, and it's like, all right, I could make a reasonable argument for the hippity hoppers that that's how they feel about it, but at the same time, you could have come to the table. If you didn't come to the table and you tried to circumvent the trademark, which it looks like was what happened when you kind of read the legal documents behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's like to me that was foul. You know what I mean? And regardless, if he says no, get off my grass, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You have to, what do you have to hold?
This L.
That's right.
Hold this L entirely. You know what I'm saying? Get in the alphabet. You know what I mean? Become part of the alphabet. Yeah. Matter of fact, that KK chick is actually the K in the alphabet now. She took Kodak Black's place for this week.
Well, he's not Kodak Black. What's his name? Brian Capri?
Bill Capri.
Bill Capri.
Bill Capri.
Bob Capri.
Hey, Bob Power is one of the best hip hop names of all time. That was.
Wow, it's an excellent name.
Bob Power is an amazing name.
Fantastic.
His name was Robert Power. He's a white dude too, so it's like, or Jewish dude or white.
And I think he's very laid back, humble kind of guy.
Well, yeah, when you hear Q-Tip talk about him,
his
and D'Angelo.
I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't come off sounding being potentially misinterpreted, but his low end is crazy. I'm comfortable enough to be able to just say that. I've never before said, "Hey, buddy, your low end,
great low end,
fantastic,
guys. Great
fantastic.
low end." Yeah, nah, he made some records what they are. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed,
absolutely, indeed. So yeah, I do want to, just maintaining the kind of intellectual property idea though. The more that we kind of go back to that De La issue, you know what I'm saying, and go back to this, what I like to say is artist ownership, because we through sprinkled Nipsey Hussle back into there, you know what I'm saying. It's going to, as we get older and we watch artists of our era, get to that grandfather age, I think these intellectual property arguments are going to come up in rap so much more, and it's going to be confusing. It's going to be like, yo, wait, can you guys have this argument of all groups of culture? Like, the culture that made it off of sampling, the culture that made it off of, bringing old beats alive, bringing back old sound. Is hip hop actually going to be able to truly have that strong of a fight in the end? I feel like the answer is no. I feel like you'll have some situations like Rock the Bells where it's just clear and obvious, and you just can't take it. Like, that's the end of the story. But you're gonna have some other issues where it's gonna be like, it's gonna be hairy. It's gonna be like, yo, dude, can you imagine if like Madlib had like a don't steal, don't copy issue? It'd be like, yo. I mean, to be fair,
on the other side of the coin, I think there's been. Hip hop has fostered a healthy relationship and a healthy respect for artists, jazz artists and R&B artists from previous generations of music, where initially a lot of them fought it, James Brown. I don't know how, I feel like George Clinton was always kind of cool with it.
There's a funny story about that though.
But at this point now, they've all come to the table, and there's a system in place where they can get, they can have a fair shake. Like if you're an old jazz artist and you got the short end of the stick as an artist when you were in your prime, and now some young kid is taking your music and making a hit with it, that I could see you being a little bit upset about that as a grown up. But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Now there's more of a dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think the George Clinton story is funny, right? How he used to have the artist come by his house and they would pay him the $5,000, but he didn't truly own like the publishing rights to it, so then they would still get sued anyway. So it's like, yeah, you can use my music, but
it's all in the game.
There's the mechanical side and there's publishing side, but he wasn't explaining none of that. He was just like, here, you can have it, and then people were getting sued anyway.
I don't have that 5Gs anymore.
Yeah, that 5Gs is gone entirely. I'm going to look at this list real quick, though.
Okay.
Because there's some things that I was like, okay, Kev, what is this again?
Oh, wow.
All right. You wrote down. We
we should explain how this is. Yeah, because this is starting to come into the process behind the show is starting to take shape, right, which is pretty remarkable when you consider that we babble for 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah, 45
every week.
Every week, yeah.
So now there's this list of sort of topical, music-related,
right,
culture-related things that are happening.
Political, Taiwanese bees.
Yes,
things of that nature.
Wildlife issues.
Yeah, damn nature, you scary.
Right. exactly.
So yeah, we actually put a spreadsheet together, and we kind of put topics on, and then we just go through the topics really, and the ones that kind of hit or seem interesting in the moment we discuss,
right,
and the ones that the ones that don't really hit in the moment get passed down to the next episode. Billy McFarland and Dog Shit Media.
I just read this today. That so Billy McFarland is our old friend from the Fire Festival, who was not Ja Rule. the Ja Rule's better half, if you will, in the Fire Festival fiasco. He's been in prison and has written his memoir, I guess. That I think is so he's producing that in conjunction with his PR firm, I believe. That's getting the word out on this work of art is called Dog Shit Media.
I thought it was like King of Fire or something. It was like some weird name.
The name he chose was I think Prometheus, King of Fire, something like that. But he spelled Prometheus with a Y,
and then the fire with a Y.
Yeah. There's a lot of deep branding going on there. So yeah, I don't know. So it was odd. He's handwritten it, and then he mails it to his lady, who types it out because they don't have computers wherever he's.
This kind of shows
up.
me something that I didn't really. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a thing in the Black and Hispanic community about the ladies that's down. Kind of like your pen pal ladies for prison folks. But white folks have them too, and I'm pretty impressed. White folks.
I think she was with him.
Yeah,
well, she hasn't. It's not like he's been in there that long. He's like she's been with him the whole time, right?
You know what I'm saying?
She's probably just hanging in there to see if she can get more screen time. Or
if that payoff happens.
I don't know, young lady. She's probably a wonderful young lady.
Shoot, Ivanka, straight to the top. Just hang out long enough.
You can't get a computer in jail.
That's what I don't know. Get one of those old,
But I mean,
hunt and peck typewriters. Do what you can, man.
Depending upon if that dude had the old school Murder She Wrote typewriter.
Murder She Wrote. That sounds like the new Ja Rule album.
Murders. Well, it would be right if this is another blow to Ja Rule's career. It would be Murder She Wrote, right? I mean, the best metaphor.
700 pages of it. It was all Ja Rule's idea.
All Ja Rule's idea, right? Murder.
Yeah, man, she's cool. She's got 60 words a minute. She's good. That's my girl.
Oh, the Murder She Wrote typewriter. That joint was. What was the production company where they would type it in and they flip the joint up into pages?
J Kennel.
Oh yes.
Do 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 do.
I don't even remember what he did. Was that Hill Street Blues?
He was like, no, that was any show that he produced. They would do that.
Yeah, I can't remember the shows though.
It was like
I can't remember the
18.
shows. Yeah, 18 was definitely one of them, but I can't remember
Hunter,
to go through. Yeah,
Hunter.
Anything with with a wild guitar at the beginning. That
was every. That was Magnum PI, wasn't it?
Magnum PI.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
And it curls to the.
And it curled into the cartoon thing. They used to give me hype.
We're making a big deal out of the fact that people use typewriters for a long period of time.
Oh my God, kids! If they're no kids are listening to this show. Matter of fact, I kind of want to tell you that if you're under 25 listening to this show,
you've come to the wrong place.
Yeah, don't stop now, man. Go outside and hang out. There's hella chicks out there. Trust me, life is amazing. This is not the place I want any young person. And it's not that we're telling you anything that you shouldn't, listen to or know or maybe even learn or research for yourself. I just feel
But unlike all the other grown-ups, we're not going to act like we know something you don't know.
That is true. Although there are some things.
There's a lot of stuff we know
that you don't know. You have no clue about. Hey, by the way, speaking of knowing things that somebody doesn't know or doing things that somebody doesn't do, your boy Trek Life is a volleyball coach right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I've moved into a new level of life where my daughter is playing a sport and I am now one of the coaches for that sport.
That's fantastic.
That is crazy.
What does that entail?
Remembering their names.
That's big.
And having the coach dictate to us what to teach the kids and then teaching the kids.
Oh, okay. So you're an assistant coach then?
No. You're like parent volunteer. So there's like a 1 or 2 volleyball experts, quote unquote. Or well, I will call them experts. They did play in college, etc. And they kind of go around and say, okay, you got to, you have a curriculum.
Really?
So you have to, yeah. And then they have games every Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And my man Fizz, I think trying to fire back in my spit kicker shout out. And it was just a shout out. But anyway, saying that, now I got more kids that like BTS around me and I'm not having it. I'm not having it, Fizz. I'm not having it at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to teach the kids the right way.
I was at I forget where was I, and I saw this car roll by with BTS graffiti writ like like when they used to write on cheerleaders would write on football players' cars, like when they're cheering for, they had the big game coming up or whatever, and they would paint on the cars. There was a car just driving around and just in traffic with BTS, Team BTS or whatever they're called, BTS Hive, whatever.
BTS Hive.
All this movement behind the scenes is horrible.
It's like a mile. Like I don't know what's happening. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm not trying to diss it because I feel like we know people that might be closer to it than we think. Right?
Oh, we definitely do.
Yeah. So I kind of don't want to shade it all the way, but
they don't care.
They wouldn't care,
Yeah,
right?
We just don't understand.
No,
it's just not even anything we could really shade.
No, I'm not. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not shading it because I don't. There's nothing to shade, but it also could sound like shade when all this old head energy shows up and the place to be old head energy.
Yeah, I mean, because listen, we're gonna say we don't understand it, but until they show up, all 18 of them or however many they are in that group,
are they
show up on stage with the spotlight and the HBCU light band.
What up, Taylor Swift? Shout out to Taylor Swift. What up, though?
You go ahead, Snowflake.
Did she do that? Did she really do that?
She did it.
Taylor Swift does not mess around. Y'all still blame her. This might absolve Kanye, by the way.
Well, that's the thing. That was the first thought in my head. I was like,
Yeah.
what am I doing Sunday? I need to be at Sunday service just to see what. I want to hear the sermon.
Greatest of all
I have
time.
no idea what goes on at Sunday service, but I want to find out
I
this
gotta
Sunday.
find out. Because matter of fact, I should be tuned in to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on with Kanye.
Yeah, what is that on? Is that on New York One? What station does that come on?
TV
Chicago Now or whatever. What is it?
I have no idea. I have no
Is it on CMT? It might be on CMT.
Might be on CMT. Okay, it's another suggestion for CMT. Get on it. Put the Sunday service on CMT.
Yeah.
At this point, CMT like.
Who's watching Kanye?
Well, I think anybody that watches it is watching it in the way that we would watch it. Like,
What is he going?
yeah, like I just want to see this
I just love
nonsense happen.
the gif of him on the keyboard with the wide stance.
Yeah.
Looking like all I think about is trying to start an old school gas lawnmower. Like he just looks like he's having a really. He's obviously having fun. But it's not a keyboard stance. I don't know what.
Shine the light on bright. Holy. That's we do that whenever somebody has to wake up and go to church. That's been the joke for like 10 years.
What up, Silo?
What up to Sai? No, that was bugged out.
That was really weird, man.
That was really odd, yo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, like, we're geared to sort of be understanding towards, these kind of like
Severe cultural appropriation.
Well, I don't want to go there, although I could. But no, towards these kind of like celebrity weird moments, right? But it's like they have to be trolling. There's a deliberate nature to most of it, and people are left to discuss it, either defend it or be against it. But it's certainly deliberate. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of it in that way, I think, all right, well, this is harmlessly deliberate, but wow.
What's the Taylor Hive club name? We're not going to know. We're just going to call them all Hives.
Everybody gets a hive, dude.
Swift Kids. There we go. Swift Kids. There we go.
The Swift Kids?
Swift Kick? Swift Hive?
Swift Kids. Swift
Oh,
Hive.
okay.
Swift Hive.
Swift bitches. No,
I think it's
Swiffers.
Side note, I think it is BTS team, by the way.
Oh.
Shout out to my daughter. She would love that, to know that I know that.
I can tell that she already knows that you know that she knows that you know.
Well, she asked me. She will be like, "Can we listen to music?" And I'll be like, "All right, you can listen to whatever you want." And then that comes on. And I'm just in the car like, God.
And you just literally, I'm going to throw you on just slightly under the.
That's fine.
I'll pull you back out. But you told me not 4 or 5 weeks ago that you listened to K-Earth in the car.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no BTS on K-Earth.
There is no BTS on K-Earth. No, that's what I listen to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So the thing is,
also, I assume K-Earth is playing really whack stuff these days.
K-Earth is just playing 80s music now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Look, I hate jumping in like this, but I have to say it. K-Earth now is playing like our oldies.
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah, they're playing.
Which I get it, but
Like
the Eurythmics. You know what I'm saying?
I wear my sunglasses at night. Like,
Yeah. But here's the thing. And I never thought I'd be like this. I mean, I knew eventually I'd get to the point where I was old and had kids or whatever. Or at least I'd assumed. Uh-huh. But I just assumed that because I wanted to listen to music that cursed in the car, I'd let them do it, right? But no. I'm like, my wife will get in the car and she'll be like, oh, let's listen to, Power 106 or whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to that because they basically are saying, suck my black stuff and look on it and then, booty like groceries. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't want my kids.
And now a message from our sponsor, Jell-O Pudding Pops.
Exactly. So I'm going, let's just switch to K-Earth and so that the all of that is subtle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just rather it be subtle. I'd rather, there's no more subtlety. Wow. And the subtlety ended in my generation. I'm not blaming the youth for the young artists now for a lack of subtlety. Oh, but that ended way back. A long time ago. I would have to say clearly that our generation killed
it's not enjoyable to listen to that at any level, no matter how censored it is, with your parents. No. I'm not like, Dad, check out this new, Ghetto Boys joint.
Yo, Pops, you gonna love this.
Yo. You gonna love this. Yeah, nah.
You ever heard of Uncle Luke? He's got a new one.
I used to.
He's back.
One thing we used to have to listen to in the car was, maybe not used to have to, but if we were listening to the radio, is Salt-N-Pepa.
Oh.
And DJ Spinderella.
That's right.
And oddly enough,
those are.
So I know they have a reality show coming out. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't set the topic for those who don't know. Mm-hmm. Spinderella was kicked off of the tour. A recent tour off of a show or out of Salt-N-Pepa altogether. Like, we don't really know the whole story.
Oh, I was hoping you would know.
No. Spin wrote a whole thing on her Facebook page where she explained that she was put off of a tour, off of a show, okay. But they have a reality show coming up. So we would know what happened in the reality show. So at this point, it could be that she's not invited to do this tour, she's not invited to do this show, or she's out of Salt-N-Pepa altogether. Which, to be fair, I didn't know they were still a thing. And when they were a thing, I didn't know she was still in it. Like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she's been like a radio DJ for so long.
Right.
I was like, oh, Salt-N-Pepa must have another DJ when they tour because Spin is doing her own thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you kick.
So you kicked somebody out of the group that no one even really thought was necessarily still in the organization. Right. And probably the only one you're interested in currently if someone says Salt-N-Pepa. Like, you're like, oh yeah, Spinderella was fine. Like, you wasn't, okay. I think we probably owe it to them to find out what happened just because they made Shoot. Is that why? No, that is not why at all. Who said that? That was Rick. That was Rick Knight. Oh my God, Rick. Talking about he's saying girls was my weakness. Man, I was like, no, dog, there's no excuse for that. That's unreasonable, and you're banned. I clicked through and banned him immediately. No. Did you mute him? I just might have muted him. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the funny thing about this, there's two stories I have about Salt-N-Pepa. One of them is a pretty quick story. This is what I was waiting to hear. The original story is like, that song Push It. Yeah. Like, when I was in school, and, censors, I'll bleep out the censorship if need be. But they would say push it good. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when I was in school, people used to say pussy good. Oh. So I've done that at Snapback, and I'm like, yo, we're gonna do it like the old school, like back in the day. And people be like, what? Yeah.
I think you was only like you and your friends did that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I'll take that L entirely because the snapback crowd is not accepting of it whatsoever. There's no like, yay. They're like, okay, now I'm just gonna go home because I feel like the vulgarity is happening.
Yeah. Bye bye. Me too. Bye bye.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, let me tell y'all the real quick Spinderella story. So shout out to my man Jay Logic. He had me emceeing at Sound Lessons at the Echo. Yeah. And Spin was DJing. You know what I'm saying? And there's kind of a double story here. Like she had a dude with her, like I guess a bodyguard or a cousin or something. So I was trying to MC and dude was like standing. He's trying to take pictures, but he was real like, you know, he was trying to do it. Like he was damn near taking pictures in the splits. Like homie was out there working. Like I was like, the angle that you're trying to hit doesn't make any sense, and you're in my way or whatever. And he, you know, felt some type of way about it. So if he's listening, I hope you still feel some type of way years later because he was cornball for that. The other thing is, so first it was like, Spin was fine, and Spin's still fine. So, but Spin fine like your auntie sexy friends though. Like Spin fine like ooh. So then Spin gave me a hug, like a long hug, like she knew that I thought she was fine, like she knew it, and it was like, that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So I DJ'd the whole thing, with the Schoolboy Crush, or MC'd the whole thing with Schoolboy Crush. Right. So we going back and forth, like she would play a song to try to throw me off. Like she played Mona Lisa, like I didn't know the words to Slick Rick's Mona Lisa. Right? So she was trying to, because I was kind of going along with every song, just like, I knew them, right? So yeah, man, like a couple weeks go by and AJ hits me up to MC at the when he did the album with Ghostface, Adrian Young, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to MC for the show," and it was like Blue and a bunch of other people, and I was like, "Yo, I'll be there." You know what I'm saying? I'll be there late, but I'll be there, right? So I get there, and lo and behold, this is weeks. This is only like a week and a half later, by the way. Lo and behold, man, walking in at the same time, it's like Spin. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. But this time I'm like, yo, she knows me, right? She's like, yeah, that's the dude that,
You are my density.
Fam. She curved me harder than any human being has ever curved another. It was like a right elbow. Like, it was crazy. She curved. Yeah, like I was like, yo, what's up, Spin? And she was like, she gave me the, who is she? Fan nigga girl. Like, I was like, yo. She just completely curved me, dude. It was crazy. My feelings was hurt for like 2 months. Like I was like, Spin, you know what I'm saying?
Listening to Shoop ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Handed you a bag of L's.
Just a complete bag of L's. Like just like here. And the person she was walking, cause I was walking in. We were walking in to the backstage area or whatever. So there were people. Like, yo, what up, Trek? What up? And I was like, yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? And then Spin walks by, and I'm like, oh, shit, what's up, Spin? So it was like in front of people, like,
oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you don't Spin? Oh, you actually don't. Because she was like, nah, sit down, stupid. And that was the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So when she got kicked out of the group, I was kind of hyped. Like, yeah, you should kick people out like that.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? No,
I was going to say, like maybe they walked in to a place at the same time, and Salt-N-Pepa looked, and they were like, "What's up, Spin?"
I think
she just.
You know what's happened? It was funny. It happened 10 years ago too.
That was 10 years ago. Yeah,
I was there that night.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my Spinderella story that I promised that I would tell you. That I got completely.
That was well worth it for me personally.
To know this Spin curved me. It was kind of wild.
She didn't even give you the hey, what's
nah,
up?
She didn't even give me like the playful, like I'm gonna pretend like I know you because we're backstage somewhere and
right.
You could be somebody. She was like, you ain't nobody and I don't know you.
Wow.
And go over there. Those are fans over there. Why are you standing here with the real people that do things?
You're like, I hope you get. I hope you get kicked out.
Because you ain't even
I was like, I just hope you get kicked out the group one day, man. And it happened like 10 years later.
Wow. In fairness to Spinderella, I had to go on Wikipedia and figure out who's Salt and who's Peppa, which anytime they come up.
Did you?
Well, yeah, man.
Okay, so Spin.
I don't.
Really?
That might be a little bit racist.
Is it racist?
I think so.
It might be a little. I didn't pay
sexist.
attention.
Maybe sexist. Well, do you know?
Do I know who's Salt and which one is Salt and which one is Peppa?
Yes.
Yeah, Peppa's like 6'4".
And wait. Here's the cool part about it. Pepper's the dark one. Salt is the light one.
Well, sort of.
Salt is.
Well,
So it's ironic.
Yeah.
well, Pepper's the one that went with Tretch.
But color-wise, though.
But I wouldn't have known that.
Speaking of which,
Was that even?
Speaking of which,
That's a little bit racist.
speaking of which, real quick, I have to make a proclamation and a promise right here on Rap Sucks Radio.
Alliteration aside.
Thanks, Kev. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Educated man. I'm not doing the colorism thing anymore. I used to joke about, people being light skinned and dark,
Mostly you joke about yourself.
Well, yeah, but I'm not doing it no more. People out here going a little too far with it.
Good for you, brother.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually done with the colorism thing. So that's why I was like, nah, I'm out. I'm off.
Okay, but
Yeah.
she is.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
Okay, well.
Was that the genesis?
I
Was
think
that
we're
the
all
genesis
sort of like
of the name?
This kind of salt and pepper. No,
No,
no, it wasn't.
I would have never thought.
I don't know.
No, because
I don't
you're-
know the origin of why they got the name Salt.
I mean, if it's like Salt and Iggy,
But Salt
or
came.
something like
Okay, Salt.
or I guess that's not correct.
That's not correct.
That's
at all.
not thematically correct.
Not at all.
Okay, we'll say Salt is the short one.
Well, I know who's who now.
Okay.
If they walk down the street, I'd be like, it's Salt and Pepper, but they'd have to come at the same time.
I probably depending.
If one of them came down the street, I would say, oh, Salt and Pepper. What's up?
Well, okay.
And if they said, which one am I would just turn around and run.
Yeah, exactly.
That's old head energy.
Oh no.
That's old head energy. When they come down the street, just one of them. Salt Pepper. That's old head energy.
He be like Jermaine Jackson. Oh, the Jacksons. Like, it's all of them. I don't know which one you are. You not Mike, then you Tito, Jermaine, or one of the other ones. One of the other
Jackson
Jacksons.
won.
Exactly. We don't care. No, I just knew, you rap tabloid stuff, Source magazine stuff. I kind of knew that Peppa had.
It's weird, yeah. I
whatever.
just never, for some reason, never took in that bit of information.
Yeah, well, it's fair enough. But speaking of the Source, like, do you want the Source back now? When you
Are they
look
coming
at
back again?
No, they're not at all.
Oh.
I'm saying with the type of like media and press that's out now, it seems like I kind of want the only problem to be like that West Coast albums don't get 5 mics. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's just off the chain. Like the press is completely off. The media is completely off the chain, like almost entirely. You know what I'm saying? So now it's almost like I want the Source back. It's so bad that I'd actually.
Is there a
want the Source back.
credible voice in current rap? I mean, I'm not necessarily. Let's assume the Source was at some point in time a truly credible voice, which I think to a certain extent maybe was definitely some writers.
Sure.
I respected.
Sure. Yeah, they've gone on to have like really, even further great careers. Some of those writers from the Source, yeah.
But right now, what is that? Is it like a blog or something, or like playlists on Spotify? Like, because I take it you didn't even know what Rap Caviar was.
I had no idea what
so
Rap
that's
Caviar
like that.
was.
That current go-to rap
for like
it's
for
so
new
hard
artists?
to say, not say hip hop, but rap. Yeah,
For new artists, okay.
Yeah, for your boy
For like Kodak and
Bernard Capri. Yeah,
Bill Capri.
Bill Capri.
Hey, what? I'll get to this part in a minute. I'm gonna keep this in mind. But no, I don't know. I know that there are a lot of kind of like hype beastie things. Like you can't all the way trust Complex. You can't all the way trust like Ambrosia for Heads and things like that. They get a little wonky. Like it's kind of weirdly tabloidish.
It also seems like it's damn near impossible to produce the amount of stuff that they have to produce and maintain the quality. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's a
They'll
lot.
tell you it's impossible. I would imagine, because there are all these blogs that they're just like, we're done, and you're like, I didn't even know you were still around.
Well, yeah,
All due respect,
I've tried my
I didn't know you
hand
were
at
still
it, and the amount of like, well, I try to do it on the Rap Sucks radio like Facebook page. I
Right.
just try to make sure there's like 3 or 4 stories a day, and it's easy for me because I'm just easy for us because we're just taking stories that are
No,
already.
I was just about to jump in and say, just for everybody out there, if there's anything you don't like, I probably did it, but for the most part, Trek is doing more work for this podcast than I've ever seen him do for anything besides his children
Well, fair enough.
and his family. So my hat's off to you.
Well, I'm trying, man. But the more that I look at it, and the more it's like I keep realizing, like I want to go to say, okay, well, we should do a Rap Sucks Radio like site where we actually, because all you're doing is saying LA Times wrote this, and this is our take on it, and then we put it on our page, and people get our opinion on it. Aside from the podcast, but I'm like, dude, we got to do like 5 a day.
Yeah,
I'm not writing all of that. You know what I'm saying?
You know how they say work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really want to do either one. We found a nice little niche where we don't have to really do any research, nor any particularly, extensive preparation.
Yeah.
We can get in a room. You're lucky that we get in a room. I was late today.
Well, I don't know
for no particular reason.
So there's not a scheduled time particularly late.
Yeah.
All right, let me jump into a couple real quick things.
Okay.
I do like that 21 Savage song a lot, but I like J. Cole's verse, which is rare for me because I don't like a lot of J. Cole verses.
I did not even know there was one that was out.
That song is fresh. Or that verse is fresh. So I want to keep that in. But I do have a Game of Thrones thing I do want to bring up. For those of y'all who did not watch
You just
episode 3,
you and Cole are having like a private back channel. You guys just compare locks every couple weeks,
do we
right?
do that? No.
Do you
no way.
FaceTime and just
no, mine's are growing a lot more healthy. But no, I'm kidding. Cole, you good, Cole. You good with me. No, I just want to know. So here's my take on Game of Thrones. Episode 3 was fresh. Is the best battle scene.
When you can see it, yeah.
Well, I thought the dark parts were cool too because I thought it kind of brought you into what was actually happening on the battlefield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, stigmatism is such.
Stigmatism, God dog. All right, so I thought it was filmed perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying?
Stigmatism is the optometry equivalent of compression. It's like everyone acts like they know what it is. Y'all don't really know what's going on.
Like this, ooh.
I have astigmatism, and I still enjoyed how it was filmed. Thank you very much, Shug. That being said, I have a couple. Not enough people died, but that's fine. There's 3 episodes left.
Dude, a lot of people died.
But not enough main characters died.
Oh, okay.
All right. But, okay. What's up with Ghost, though?
Like I told you.
What's up with the dog?
You came out of left field. Well, not left field because Game of Thrones obviously just aired in this other show that I thought of. I didn't even realize wasn't even on air right now. But I immediately thought you were talking about Power. Which clearly I don't pay that much attention to.
Okay, let me just run. I'm never watching Power. Let me run this down.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Jon Snow put his dog on the front line. How sick of your dog are you to put him on the front line of a war against undead?
What's your dog's name?
Archer.
Right. So when you were watching it, did you look over at Archer and be like,
exactly. Yeah, mess with me.
Right.
I would have put my dog on the front line like Jon Snow did. The other thing is this. So he's in the next episode because he's in the previews, right? So by the time you listen to this, you'll have seen the ghost is still alive. Where the hell did he go? He was on the front line. All the Dothraki got killed. Mm-hmm. And did he like run to the wall and back? Like, man, F this, homie. This battle is crazy. I thought this. Have you ever played fetch with a dog that doesn't know how to fetch? He won't bring the ball back.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened with Ghost. They was like, go get the White Walker and bring him back. And he was like, bring him back, Ghost. And that motherfucker just kept running like, nah, I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? That is probably the world's most odd. That is the oddest part of that show. Like, you need to either remove this. Jon Snow's like, dude, I have a dragon. Why do I care about a dog now? Why, a wolf or whatever.
Wow.
So.
Pet jealousy.
Yeah.
That's real.
So much so that he was like, man, go out there and get killed. Like, even Jorah in the show was less surprised at all the swords being lit on fire than he was at the damn wolf running. He was like, where the hell did he come from? Like, he's still in the show? Like, all the cast members were still shocked that Ghost was around. All right, anyway.
I've watched every episode of that show, and the only reason I know who you're talking about is because I've watched you post about them, use their names, and realize, oh, that's who that guy, that's his name.
All right, well, I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's friend zone, dude. I have the weirder thing than what happened to Ghost.
Okay.
From that whole episode.
Sure.
How does Khaleesi get through the entire episode. She goes through a snowstorm, a windstorm, on a dragon, falls off the dragon, gets up at the end. Her hair, which is white, is still clean.
and the outfit.
And the braids are still tight.
Yeah.
That's a dragon lady.
That's white privilege.
That's
Ooh,
that's white privilege right there. You know what I'm saying?
done.
And she was black.
Done.
Them dreads, her hair would be wild out. Yeah.
You better watch it. They're going to kick you off Facebook.
That is true. Ooh.
Keep talking like that.
Ooh, we are really at time. We are at time.
We might have to wait to discuss that until.
Yeah, I think we're gonna let that one bubble a little bit. Ooh, we're gonna talk about that one next episode. Avoid it. What up, y'all? This is Rap Sucks Radio. We are at time. I'm your homeboy Trek Life, and that is also your homeboy Kev Sakota. What up?
Yep.
Shug's in the house, man. Shug probably is gonna be here for every episode. We're probably gonna give him a mic next episode and see if he can hang out.
Salt and sugar.
Salt and sugar. Just light skin.
Get an email. Shug. Nah.
We just gonna tag you on Facebook.
We realized you don't know how to DJ.
Check us out, rapsucksradio.com or your favorite podcasting, I don't know, favorite place to listen to podcasts.
We know you have a favorite.
We know you have a favorite. A lot of y'all like Spotify. I look at the stats and numbers. Most of you seem to like Spotify, but there's, iTunes and whatever still goes down. So catch us on your favorite platform. Rapsucksradio.com. We will catch y'all next episode. Thank y'all for hanging with us. Peace.